So this is a view of my shop from the outside. You can see that's the personnel door, the main door. So we're now standing in the centre of the workshop, and I'll just pan round and show the main areas, and then we'll focus on each one of the areas. So over here, there we have the milling machine area. At the back we have the assembly area. On the back wall there we have the electronics and the clean bench. And we have a little CNC milling machine at the back. There we have pillar drill and some lathes, the surface plate, the metal forming area and the metal storage area. And here we have the hot work, grinding and welding area. And in the centre of the workshop is a workbench with vices on. So looking at the milling machine area, we have two milling machines situated here. The first is a Victoria Omni mill. The second is an AEW horizontal mill, and I've got a vertical head for that. Behind that machine is a Herbert high-speed drilling machine. And then we have a Elliott 10-inch shaper. On the back wall on wheels there we have a press, and on the top of that press you can see the press brake that I made. And then moving round here, this is the assembly workbench. So we have tools that are easy to grab, common tools that are easy, hand tools that are easy to grab on the walls, various hammers, spanners, screwdrivers, that sort of thing. And then below the workbench are all the hand tools. So things such as pliers, saws, miscellaneous spanners and sockets. So moving around here we have paints and various fluids of various descriptions. And then we back to the electronics bench. So we have a 60 megahertz oscilloscope, a multimeter, a frequency analyzer, and a power supply, and just computer, various things. And then at the back there is a small CNC milling machine based on a Centec 2. I re-scraped all the ways in that and manufactured some anti-backlash screws and built the electronics for that as well. So I've opened the cupboards above the clean bench. On the bottom shelf you've got punches, scrapers, and then a little bit of tooling up there, things like small vices and mandrels. In this cupboard we have DTIs and stands. And we have things like straight edges and rules, various miscellaneous measuring equipment, and books and that kind of thing. Then in this cupboard we have dividers and calipers, things like squares and gauges, various micrometers, and things like levels in that top drawer. So in the cabinets below the workbench we have things like angle plates and V-blocks and parallels, and also some other straight edges and surface plates. In the cupboard below the electronic equipment we have various power tools, drills, sanders, grinders. Here we have an Ajax pillar drill, a Cromwell Precision 3.5-inch lathe, and at the back there a Harrison L5 lathe. Next to the lathes we have the drawers of various cutting tools. So we have taps and dies, most of that's taps and dies. Here we have milling cutters, various descriptions, and some more lathe tooling. On the back there we have some miscellaneous lathe tooling, things like knurling tools, and then we have some miscellaneous stuff on the top there. Here we have a granite surface plate with the cover on. Underneath here we have a height gauge, and underneath here we have a vertical micrometer, and then we have one of the most well used machines in the shop, the horizontal bandsaw. At the back here we have a vertical wood cutting bandsaw that doesn't get a huge amount of use, and then on this wall we have a buffing and polishing station, some shears at the back. On the back wall there, that random contraption is the start of a synchronome clock. Here we have some pinch rollers, a cut-off saw, a fret saw, and next to that we have a Start-Right 18-inch bandsaw. Down on the floor there's a oil-cooled 180 amp arc welder that has been modified to be used as a step-up transformer. So there isn't any three-phase in the shop, so that goes from 240 to 415 volts, and that feeds the phase converter on the back wall there. In between there is a forge. This is a gas-powered forge and brazing hearth. At the moment it's just got a fire blanket on it, and there's a small belt and disc grinder on there. Next to that is a large belt grinder, tool and cutter grinder that I refurbished, a smaller tool and cutter grinder that I refurbished. Below them is the drawers with various files in. And then a pedestal grinder. And here we have a number of welders. So there's a MIG welder, a welder set up for TIG welding, and a similar welder set up for DC stick welding. And on this back wall is all the storage of hardware. So we've got springs and various washers and that kind of thing there, some electrical stuff, nuts and bolts hardware, and a collection of various oils for cars and machines. We have a small compressor on the floor, and then we're back round to the milling machine again, and we have the storage cart there with various taper tooling on, and the vertical head for the AEW and some collets. So looking at the centre of the shop, we have a stand in the middle with two machinist vice on, and a vice that I haven't yet mounted up. This is a blacksmith's vice to go with the forge, and we have a generally clear area in the shop for doing larger projects. On the centre workbench at the moment we have the start of a pulse jet, so you can see the two pipes, and I'm making a cone there, so that project will be hopefully manufactured in the next few weeks.